We are on episode 4 of season 1 of Mystery Science Theater 3000, and the first one to be released in 1990. We're out of the 80s, this is the 90s, folks. And the movie they're covering today is Women of the Prehistoric Planet, their first one that they've covered in season 1 that's actually in color, and it's much more enjoyable than the ones we've seen before. And to get it started, they of course start how they start every single episode with an invention exchange. A really funny one from The Mads, Dr. Forrester, played by Trace Boulay, and Josh Weinstein, playing his sidekick, Lawrence Earnhardt. We get an invention exchange from Joel, who completely phones it in this time, but at least they have one funny one.
Come in, Joel, my little bagel with a schmear.
Hey, sirs, what's up?
He and I have developed a new chain of fast food restaurants with very low overhead because we don't cook our food.
Because frying and broiling takes out a lot of the nutrients.
If you're tired of the same old fare, you got a friend in Clay and Lair, because we don't cook it.
You see, cooking takes out all the flavor.
If you listen, you can hear it moan, because we don't cook it.
Stunned, killed, right at your table, eviscerated, very fresh.
Hi, you'll say moo. It's Clay and Lair's Flesh Barn.
15 locations to serve you, now in Altoona.
And you can see, the mad scientist, all their inventions seem to be, not very practical and a little, dare I say, crazy, because they are the evil geniuses, and Joel's inventions tend to be something a little more practical. I mean, he did create an airbag for motorcycle riders, so that was good. We get to the movie right away. There's no shorts. Since this movie, released in 1966, Women of the Prehistoric Planet, is exactly 90 minutes long. Just perfect for Mystery Science Theater 3000. And it reminds me a lot of the Raquel Welch movie 1 Million BC that was also released in 1966, but this one is a lot less sexy and busty. But there is a lot for them to riff on this one, and Trace Boulay, with his portrayal of Crow, T-Robot, is really coming into his own. Crow is by far my favorite commentator on any of the Mystery Science Theater seasons. I would rank him Crow, T-Robot, Joel, and then Tom Servo last. And then when Mike Nelson comes in, same. Crow, T-Robot, Mike Nelson, and Tom Servo being the worst. Because Crow just has that biting wit. He's more offensive.
You little panty-waist boy, if that was my kid, I'd whack him.
Planet ever been explored?
Not according to our galactic records.
But then I couldn't read him because I spilled coffee on him.
No sign of...
And so Johnny Longtorso and his industrial band of bad boy spacefaring pals step out into the cold air of Central Park.
He's more testy and sarcastic, and it's exactly my type of humor. Tom Servo is supposed to be making these smarter jokes, highfalutin, since he himself looks at himself as above everyone else, much smarter, and everyone around him is below him and dumber. Crow T-Robot has his place perfect. Quite low budget and rushed production. I find the sets hilarious to look at, since we get nothing like that nowadays. They're obviously filming these on sound stages with fake backgrounds, but these environments that they try to create, looking at them from 2025, are nostalgic, even if you didn't grow up in the 60s. It's like, wow, they don't make anything like this anymore. It's very fake looking, but at the same time visually interesting. They'll create a giant pond that's bubbling with a conveniently laid log for the crew to walk across. They'll have a few plants and then a obviously puppet lizard try to grab at them. This is in a lot of ways a fun movie, and perfect for them because it's also funny to laugh at. But there is a deeper message, and I think they're trying to make a point about how different races, in this case white people and Asians, can get along, since the white people are the humans who are flying in this spaceship trying to return home. And we have the Centaurians, who are played by Asian actors. And the Centaurians are also being brought home in order to, quote-unquote, assimilate into the culture on Earth. And the main character, Linda, is a Centaurian, who's also Asian, if you can't tell. And she's played by Irene Tsu, who even I recognized, who is a 60s beauty pageant winner, who went on to star in episodes of Mission Impossible, Man from U.N.C.L.E., and whose last acting credit was in 2021 in Atrophy. And she does a decent job here and is actually pleasant to look at, which is not the case from our previous 3 films. Oh boy, those things were ugly all over. At least we have one that's in color and has good sound and attractive women. Oh, and also terrible fistfights and corny dialogue, of course.
You will take us back to Centaurus.
You stupid fools.
It's pronounced
Commander
Centaurus.
Scott was right. He said the Centaurians couldn't be trusted.
Jane, what are you doing?
Control the maneuvering room.
Not again.
And that playground ball's a threat, too.
We shall crash.
This is one of the episodes people point to when they talk about the good episodes from season 1. While the theater segments are enjoyable for this one, the host segments outside of the first Invention exchange are, how do I say this, kind of dumb. They do another wraparound where the host segments all follow a storyline, but it just doesn't really make much sense. It just seems like Joel created this contraption to put in the host segments and just felt like he had to use it for every single one of them.
A big satellite out there, and we're going to collide with it.
What?
Space into the living room.
Sure looks like a doomsday device, all right. Joel, are we up a creek here?
It's a doomsday machine, all right, and I think I accidentally activated its self-destruct mechanism.
They don't talk about the movie this time. During the host segments, they do a continuing storyline. Mystery Science Theater basically does whatever it wants. In the later episodes, they typically have more continuing storylines. They'll crash land on a planet with apes and have to deal with that, especially when Pearl gets introduced. But this one is just phoned in. There's no lush environments to look at or secondary characters to talk to. You just have this giant thing that Joel built and felt like he had to shoehorn into every host segment. Even with the bad host segments, I think this is the best episode so far. By far the most watchable and really feels like something that was from season 2 or 3. And they're getting better at not taking long pauses in between when the characters are talking on the screen. There was just so much dead air in something like The Crawling Eye. I started ad-libbing to the screen. However, I do also notice in season 1, they tend to talk over the characters. So in the later seasons, a character will say a piece of dialogue on the screen. Then someone like Crow will interject in between the next line of dialogue that the next character says. So they don't interrupt, quote unquote, the movie ever. They let the character talk, they then make fun of him, then they let the next character talk. That actually doesn't happen here. Joel is interacting with the screen a lot more. This seems to be the first time he really just starts to close people's mouths, slap a girl on the rear end, which he does, try to twist someone's nipples. Like, he's interacting with the screen constantly. Almost a little too much, but I like it when he does it.
Fakey.
Fakey.
Real.
Real fakey.
Fake guys. Filmed on location in Tommy Ronnick's front yard.
And they are constantly talking over the actors. So you do actually lose some of the quote-unquote story, since a character will be talking and they'll just be, someone like Joel will be talking over him. And of course you will hear Joel's voice coming back. So they haven't quite figured out that maybe they should let the character talk, then make fun of him, then let the next character talk, so that it flows really seamlessly. They just don't quite have it down yet. But they're getting better. So that's Women of the Prehistoric Planet. Next up is episode 5, The Corpse Vanishes, another black and white movie. And another one from 1942. Is it going to be better than episode 3, The Mad Monster, also from 1942? Most likely. Stay tuned for that, because we are covering every single episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000. All of them. Check out our playlist for all episodes of Fear Itself, which is finished, Monsters, which is finished, Tales from the Dark Side, Pet Shop of Horrors, Cowboy Bebop, and Black Mirror, and of course, Mystery Science Theater 3000. Thanks a lot.